Today we're going to be updating my best wide receiver tier list in Madden 23 Ultimate Team. Now right before we get into it, I do not have a comment of the day, but I do have a special shout out. Gotta shout out my guys at SU Esports, because if you can't tell, this is not the usual setup. My PC having some major issues, so one of my good friends let me use their setup. That's why, you know, no Juice World, no Tua in the background, and some of you may like the no Tua in the background, but we're gonna go ahead and get it started by re-ranking the old cards. And you can see the old tier list right here. I'm kind of stuck a little bit because I think there should be 3 of these guys that remain in S. I think CeeDee Lamb, Herman Moore, and Plaxico Burress are all still S tier caliber receivers. I think Marvin, Mike Will, Calvin, Debo, all great. And I should say, I think Debo at this point can just move right next to Jalen Waddle. I think he's slightly better than Waddle, but it's not really by enough for him to be on a whole separate tier. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move everyone down a tier besides CD, Herman, and Plax though. And right before we get into the new cards, this is what we're looking like. Now I do think it's a little crazy how many people moved down, but we got an absolutely loaded update today. And the first card we got right here is Jakeem Grant, Dolphins legend. Now Jakeem Grant, 93 speed is pretty it's all right, but not really the best route runnings in the world, and he's 5'7", and since he's 90 overall, we're not really going to get any discount abilities until we get to the 93s. So this card for me, I think he's a good budget option, but I don't quite think he's like that next tier good budget option. Like I still like, you know, like Brandon Ayuk over him. Now we got Isaiah McKenzie. So Isaiah McKenzie does get a little bit better. He's going to be looking like this since the Bills were able to beat my Dolphins. I mean, my Dolphins are just catching crazy strays today, right? But Isaiah McKenzie, up to 94 speed, 92 excel, 95 agility, has pretty decent route runnings, can get all those up to 90 with the route tree strat card. He's 5'8" though, so he's an inch taller than Jakeem Grant, and I don't believe he gets any discount abilities. He gets short out elite for 1, so I do think he's like that next kind of level good budget wide receiver, but I don't think he's as good as the people in C. I'll be honest. I think like by like Ayuk in them, like I think Ayuk, Keenan Allen, Paris Campbell, Terry McLaurin, all really great budget options, and I'd lob Isaiah McKenzie up in there too. Now we got Chris Godwin. So Chris Godwin, 6'1" slot arc. So I really am looking forward to a really good Chris Godwin card, but right now he's just not really all that, right? He's 91 speed, 89 short, 89 medium, 90 deep, can get all those up to 90 again. And if we take a look at his discount ability, slot apprentice for 1, but you can get short and elite for 1, and that's what really saves him is his archetype, slot arc. I think that is by far the best arc in the game. I don't think anyone would disagree. So I think he's like kind of like mid-tier D again. Like I mean, his speed and stuff just really is not there right now. Now this card right here will not be getting any better. We got Marquez Goodwin. So Marquez Goodwin, a 5'9" receiver with 93 speed, 93 excel, can get all the route runnings up to 90 with route tree, and that's going to be the last time I say this in this video, because pretty much all these receivers at this point, the route running isn't going to really be the difference. The difference is going to be height, speed, abilities, and not in that order. It might literally be the opposite of that order, but again, pretty decently fast. Now what can he get for abilities? How can he separate himself? Deep out elite for 1 I hate, because guess what, he's a 5'9" wide receiver. I feel like that is a really big waste. So for me, Marquez Goodwin, he's like, I think he can be above Jakeem Grant, because the deep out elite is better than nothing, but like deep out elite on a 5'9" receiver, are you kidding me? Now we got Kadarius Toney. I think this card's a little bit slept on. So a 5'11" playmaker arc, 94 speed, 96 excel, great physical stats, like 99 change of direction as well. And he's actually someone that I know I said I wasn't going to say it, but his medium cannot get up to 90 with route tree, so rare time where it can't. But can he make up with anything for discount abilities? He actually doesn't get any, which kind of sucks. You would like to see some discounted abilities on this card, but I think he's a solid budget option. I think he's better than Jakeem Grant. I mean, I can put him like, I can't put him top end of D, but I think he's like middle of the pack D. Again, a good budget option. Now what's kind of crazy is all the receivers we're about to cover are all going to be 93 pluses at this point. We're not even halfway through the update. So Amari Cooper, 6'1", 94 speed. I think he's really, really good. Again, has the good route runnings, good height as well. Can he stand out ability wise though? I mean, deep out elite, mid and elite, I'm not a huge fan. I like the card. I think he's good. And I do think Amari Cooper plays like on this level right here. I think he's a really good receiver. I don't quite think he's great though. Give me everyone in B over him, but I do think, again, really good for a free card. And now next up right here, we have Scotty Miller. So Scotty Miller is 5'9" once again, and again, has the good route runnings with route tree. So for his discount abilities though, deep out, deep in. And I kind of talked about this, like, I mean, he's good speeds wise, but I feel like his abilities are a waste, right? Like he's 5'9". I don't think the deep out, deep in is really going to help him. Like potentially a short in, short out would maybe have put him even on the C tier, but given his abilities, it's kind of like he doesn't get anything. I think by Marquise Goodwin and Jakeem Grant, he's going D tier for me. And right after that, we got Jamal Agnew. So Jamal Agnew, he's 5'10", 93 speed, pretty good physical stats, and again, good route runnings. But what are the abilities? What can he get? Return man for 1 is kind of crazy. Like, given he's one of the best actual returners in the NFL, how does he not get 0 AP return man? I feel like this card got kind of cheated. I would put him like even worse than like Scotty Miller in them. Like, I think he's better than Jakeem Grant, but like, man, that card got kind of hoed. And right after that, we got AJ Green, 6'4" wide receiver, 93 speed, 95 excel, really good route runnings, and of course he has a good height, right? But what are the abilities? What can he get? Red zone threat for 1, mid and elite for 1. I don't like the mid and elite for 1. I feel like it's kind of a waste, but the red zone threat for 1, he kind of reminds me, like, I'm going to put him on the same tier as Carmichael, because I feel like they do the same thing kind of, but Carmichael is a little bit better at like the red zone threat stuff because obviously he's 6'8", but AJ Green can run a little bit better routes because his movement isn't going to be as clunky as Carmichael's. I really wish they would have gave this card better abilities, man. But Christian Watson, 6'4", 94 speed, 97 excel. One of the reasons I made him no money spent Packers team. He is absolutely amazing, and again has a good route runnings. Now, what are the abilities he can get though? Deep in, deep out. I do like it more than Scotty Miller, obviously, because he is 6'4", and he can actually take advantage and like ag some people for those abilities, right? Where he actually ranks though, I don't think it's B tier. I think it's like even like bottom in the C. Like, there's some cards in here that I would run over him. I would potentially run the Deion over him. Like, I loved using Christian Watson, ton of fun, but at this point in the game, you need to short in, you need to short out, or you need like 1 AP route tech. And now right after that, we got Michael Pittman. This time, Michael Pittman is 6'4", 93 speed, great route runnings. Once again, hits all the thresholds. Now for his abilities, short and elite for 1 AP. So I like him more than Christian Watson. I do. I think he is like a great budget option in the C tier. Right after that, we have another great one, Treylon Burks right here, going for 116K as well. So again, slightly cheaper option compared to like the top end people in the game, but 6'2", 94 speed, 93 excel, good route runnings. The only downside is you can't get the deep up to 90 with route tree. Kind of sucks, but he kind of makes up for it as well. He can go ahead and get short and elite for 1 AP. I like the card. I think he's a lot of fun to use. I think he is a good card. I don't think he's great. Again, I'm going to go ahead and have him kind of in this like top end budget tier by around like Michael Pittman, Garrett Wilson, George Pickens. MVS right here, 6'4", 94 speed, 94 excel as well. Again, good route runnings with route tree, all of them hit 90. So he hits like all our boxes so far. Now, what can he get ability wise? He can go ahead and get deep out elite for 1, wide receiver apprentice for 2. I don't like, but deep out elite for 1. Him and Christian Watson on the same tier. Like, they're, I don't want to say identical, but they pretty much do a lot of the stuff the same. So I'm going to put them right by each other. Now we have Watkins right here. I think this is the best budget wide receiver in the game. He's 6 foot, 96 speed, 96 excel as a 93 overall. You can't really beat that. And once again, with route tree, all the route runnings hit 90, which is a threshold on Madden. Now, if we take a look at his ability, short out elite for 1 is what I would run on him. And again, I think he's a beast. I think he is one of the better budget wide receivers in the game. I can't put him B. I can't do it. I can't, but like the best card in C. The best budget wide receiver in the game is where he's going for me. Now we have the most recent 93 overall, Sky Moore. So Sky Moore, he's 5'10", 94 speed, 94 excel. Again, good route runnings across the board, right? But how can he go ahead, separate himself ability wise? Short out elite for 1. So again, I think he's kind of like in this like budget tier of really, really good receivers. I like the short out elite for 1. For me, he's going like top in the C once again. Don't think he's as good as Watkins though. Oh, right by Jarvis Landry. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Like both of them getting short out for 1. I'm going to put him right by Landry. Now, right after that, we got Freddie B. And I don't know why, but this card has been like my best receiver in the game. He is absolutely ridiculous. So he's 6'1", 95 speed, 97 excel, 90s across the board for route runnings, great release as well. And if we take a look at his abilities, gets 1 AP route tech. Like you kind of have to make a decision like route tech, short in or short out. But something that I like to do, you do have to spend a little bit of AP. But if you want this card, he's a free card, you're a no money spend player, want him to play elite, be willing to spend the route tech for 1 and like the short out for 2. If you're willing to do that, this card has potential to play even higher for you. I really want to put him A tier. I really do, but I can't do it. Like with Adam Thielen, Cooper Kupp, Steve Smith, D, but like all these guys that get the incredible value, I don't know if I can put him A. I think he can play at an A tier level if you're willing to spend the AP, but like I can say that about a lot of people in the B tier as well. So I'm going to put him like top into B might be my favorite card in B tier, but again, like him versus Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen is a lot more valuable because he can get short out, short in, and total for 1 AP. So that's why I'm not putting him A tier, but he's like right there for me. And now right after that, we have AJ Brown. So AJ Brown gets a major upgrade. So 2 Eagles receivers get a lot better, and Eagles Chiefs team, given they're in the Super Bowl, this Super Bowl promo is going to be disgusting for those 2 teams. AJ Brown, 95 speed, 98 excel with perfect route runnings across the board, 6 foot height. But what are the abilities? So he can get route tech for 1, mid and elite for 1. I wish this was a short out. I wish it was a short out, because if it was a short out, I think he's S tier. But right now, I think he's A. I think he's a really good receiver, but I don't quite think he's like that next level good, like S tier. And right after that, we have Christian Kirk. So Christian Kirk is a 5'11 slot, 96 speed, 98 excel, perfect route runnings across the board. He gets my favorite ability stack, short out elite for 0, but also short and elite for 1 AP total. So he can beat the press man, he can beat the off man. Like there's nothing this card can't do. I think he's probably the best slot receiver in the game. That might change based on some other cards we're going to cover, but right now he's wide receiver 1 in this tier list. Right after that, we got Gabe Davis. So Gabe Davis, he's 6'2", good height on him, 94 speed, 95 excel, great route runnings across the board. But what are the abilities? He can go ahead and get deep out elite for 0 and short out elite for 1. I don't mind that at all. I think that's actually a pretty good combo. I just don't think he's S tier once again. Like I think he's a really good receiver. I'm willing to put him A tier, but I'm not willing to put him S tier. I think he's really good, but not quite like that. Again, like I think Plax, Herman Moore, all better than him. Next up right here, I think I'm going to make the Giants fans mad. Y'all wanted Isaiah Hodgins so bad. Y'all got him, but I feel like EA kind of screwed him up a little bit. He's 6'4", like the height's good, the speed's good, the route runnings are good, but this is where he kind of loses me, of course, is the abilities. So deep out elite for 1, red zone threat for 1. I think he's like probably the best version of like a Carmichael type receiver that is really great in the red zone, but like, I mean, deep out elite for 1. We just covered Gabe Davis that gets it for 0. Like if he gets a 0 AP deep out elite, I potentially think he's A. But like, what does this card really do better than Gabe Davis? I don't think he's better than Freddie B. I'm willing to put him as like one of the best cards in B, but I'm not willing to put him A. I think it's a very stupid reason just because he doesn't get good abilities, but that's kind of where we're at this point in the game. I hate it, but next up we got Devonta Smith. So Devonta Smith, he's 6 foot, 95 speed, 95 short, 94 medium, 96 deep. Now, what are his abilities looking like? For a while, 2 AP route tech, 1 AP short in was really, really good. Like he was one of the better receivers in the game. I feel like, I don't want to say he fell off. If he's A tier, Freddie B needs to move up because they can essentially get the same ability stack for the same amount of AP, like route tech plus short in. And yeah, you know what? I'm willing to do that. With how good Freddie B played for me, I'm willing to put Freddie B in the A tier. Might be a little bit of a hot take. Again, we have Isaiah Hodgins right here. Let me know down below in the comments. Isaiah Hodgins, should he be A tier? This is one of the ones I'm really conflicted on. And then they drop this beast on us. Drake London, 6'4" playmaker, 96 speed, 97 excel, great route runnings across the board. Now, if we take a look at his abilities though, right? So he can get matchup nightmare for 0. I kind of want to drop a video on matchup nightmare because it's one of the weirder abilities in the game. Like no matter what he's on, whether he's on the outside of the numbers, inside the numbers, by a linebacker, not by a linebacker, activates on the catch every single time, but can also get 1 AP short and elite. You can't convince me that he's any worse than Herman Moore and these guys. So I'm going to put him literally right in between of Herman Moore and Plax. I think he's on this level. He's a great big body receiver in the game. Now, right after that, we have Juju. So Juju, 95 speed, 96 excel. Again, he's great stats wise. They actually did not make him terrible stats. He's also 6'1", but did they screw up his abilities? And the answer is yes, they did. Deep out elite, mid and elite for 0, honorary lineman, red zone threat. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Like, I don't like his abilities. Wherever Isaiah Hodgins is where Juju is, because he's worse than Isaiah Hodgins. So I'm gonna put him like, again, like kind of like top into B. Like, so this is my thought process of why they're not A tier, even though like the stats are kind of similar to the people in A. Like Adam Thielen, Cooper Kupp, Steve Smith, Debo, Waddle, all these dudes offer you something from an ability standpoint, like value, right? Might not have the best stats, but their abilities super valuable. Isaiah Hodgins, Juju have better stats, but their abilities not good value. So that's kind of my thought process like that. Now we have Andre Reed. So Andre Reed's amazing. He's 6'2", 96 speed, 95 excel, great route runnings across the board. But what are the abilities? He can go ahead and get deep out elite for 0, short and elite for 1 AP. In my opinion, he's kind of like a better Gabe Davis. And for that reason, Gabe Davis is, guess what, A tier? This card is for sure S tier. And I don't know if he's like, is he better than CeeDee Lamb? Is he? Yeah, I'd probably lean he's better than CeeDee Lamb. Right after that, we got Michael Irvin. So Michael Irvin gets a big time upgrade. 6'2", 96 speed, 96 XL, great route runnings. But the question is, can he keep up with his abilities? And if we take a look at them, you'll see that he can potentially get red zone threat, short out, and route tech for 2 AP, which is kind of crazy value, but he can also get short out and route tech for 1 AP. That is probably my personal favorite ability stack in the game. And for that reason, he's going to be my wide receiver 1 over Christian Kirk. Again, I think Kirk is a better slot given his ability stack, but I think with that ability stack, perfect for the outside. I think Michael Irvin, one of the 3 best receivers in the game. And right after that, we got Allen Robinson, 6'2", once again, 95 speed, good route runnings. But what are the abilities? You can see that he gets mid out for 0, deep out for 1. Hate his abilities. So we kind of already covered a couple cards like him. I think he is for sure going right by like Juju and Isaiah Hodgins, and I think he's worse. I would rather use Juju and Isaiah Hodgins. Now we got Randall Cobb. So Randall Cobb's 5'10", slot arc, 95 speed, 96 XL, good route runnings across the board. And you're gonna see kind of like the slot arc kind of saves him. So he can go ahead and get a route tech for 2, which then, you know, you could stack short out or short in for 3 AP total, or you could just run 1 AP short in or 1 AP short out. So I like the card. I don't think he's S tier, but I do think he is pretty good. I think right by like Freddie B and Devonta Smith. Like, I feel like these 3 cards can do things really, really similar. Dolphins and Chiefs teamers gets a crazy upgrade. Reek's gonna have the best physical stats in the game every time he gets an upgrade. There's no doubt about that. The main question is, can his abilities make up for his slightly shorter size of 5'9"? And the answer is yes, they can. Because again, I talked about short out and route tech for 1 AP total. He gets it. Favorite ability stack in the game. I do think Michael Irvin is better given his height, but I think Reek has a really good argument for being a top 3 receiver in this game right now. Right after that, we got Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin, great speed, slightly shorter at 5'10", great route runnings. Now for his abilities though, can get short out elite and mid and elite comboed for 1 AP total. Also 1 AP playmaker. I don't like playmaker, so this is my thoughts on playmaker. By the time you're able to put someone on a drag, playmaker him upfield, playmaker him to the left, playmaker him to the right, you're getting sacked. Like DB Fire is not letting that happen. So yeah, for me, Doug Baldwin is gonna be A tier. I think he's pretty good, but I like Devonta Smith and then once again. Right after that, we got Tim Brown, 6 foot height, 95 speed, 96 XL, good route runnings across the board, but the abilities, same stack as Doug Baldwin, just a little bit taller. So in my opinion, he's slightly better. I know Baldwin has 1 speed on him, but I'm gonna put him slightly above Doug Baldwin. Now we have MT. So MT is interesting. MT is 6'3". It always catches me off guard that Michael Thomas is 6'3". I just wouldn't think he's 6'3", but 95 speed's great route runnings. What are the abilities he can get? So he can get short out for 0. And I know we covered receivers that get short out for 0 and potentially short in for 1. He can't do that. But if you've used Michael Thomas, I cannot put him below S tier. Like, he can be the worst one in S. Like, he's either the worst one in S or best one in A. If you use this card, he has played just out of his mind for me. I can't put him any lower than this. I loved using the card. Now we got T.Y. Hilton, 5'10" slot, 96 speed, great route runnings, and he was kind of like an upgraded Adam Thielen. And if you knew my thoughts on Adam Thielen, love this card. So he gets short out for 0 like we just covered with Michael Thomas, but given he's a slot arc, can also get short and elite for 1 AP total. For me, Ty is worse than Kirk, but he is top end of S for me still. I think he's a great wide receiver in this game. And now the newest reveal, Chris Olave, 6'1" deep threat, 96 speed, 97 XL, great route runnings across the board. Now for his abilities, he can go ahead and get potentially short out, short in comboed for 1 AP, or short in route tech comboed for 1. Given he can get like either combo, I love this card. I think Olave kind of takes over Christian Kirk's spot as like a top 3 receiver in this game. I think Kirk, Olave, Reek, and Michael Irvin all have reasons to be in your lineup. And also you have people like Drake London, Herman Moore, Plax that are the bigger body receivers that I know a lot of you people like out there. But yeah, y'all, this was my thoughts on wide receivers and Madden 23 Ultimate Team. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. Who do you think should come up? Who do you think should come down? If you did enjoy this video though, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, if you want to see me play live with some of these cards, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with a follow. If you don't feel like heading over to Twitch, you guys want another video to watch, check this one out right here. I rank the best running backs in Madden 23.